Hey Radical fans, today's Radical Rundown, we're going to touch on grips versus no grips. And I'm not sure there's a right answer to whether it's good or bad, or it's mostly a personal preference. But just to talk on some of the cons and the pros, or the pros and the cons of the grips. Like for instance, with grips, one of the biggest pros is its comfort. You know, a lot of people bowling with a bowling ball without grips, you probably have wear and tear on your fingers. You have a little more comfort with the insert. You have a uniform feel. The inserts all feel the same. If you drill the outside diameter hole the same, the ball should feel the same ball to ball. Vacuum grip drilling, or in my case, I use shims in the back of the grips so that I make them tighter. And if I swell up, I take the shims out, so I don't glue the back of my grip to the ball. I leave that open. Some people say they get more revs on the ball, so do you increase your revolutions? There are many options when you use grips, with the shape of the grip, the texture of the grip, the uniformity of the grip from grip to grip is the same. So there's a lot more options. On the other side of the coin, when you don't use grips, some people like the firm feel of their hand in the ball. They like the narrower bridge. Some of the cons to that is, well, you have to work them out, and hopefully you have to work them out the same. There isn't a lot of room for swelling, so you have to drill, if you drill a finger hole bigger, you'll be using tape, and that could make the feel more consistent if every ball has the same amount of tape in it, you know, whether it's white tape in the front on the pads of your fingers. But again, you have to understand, if you swell to a point, you can't simply make that hole bigger while you're bowling. But if you shim a grip, you can always make it bigger as you go. And again, it's mostly a personal preference. It's what you like and what you feel. I can't tell you if that ball got further down the lane because I didn't have grips in the ball, or I did have grips. I can't tell you if it revved harder. It's how you feel and how confident you feel. And you also want to get the feeling that your hand's resting on the ball a certain way. Sometimes people with grips don't feel that way. They feel like they squeeze it and the grips have some give. So it's a personal preference. There are some pros and cons for both. You know, I use grips because of the consistency, the feel, and I drill different size outside diameters so that I can get the grip to feel different. You know, I use a 23/32 on my ring finger, and I drill a 61 hole instead of a 31. You know, a 60, just so that the grip is a little snugger, and then I can shim the back still. And then I use 3/4 on the middle finger, and I do the same thing. I drill it at a 31/32 hole, but that makes it a little looser, and then I put a shim in the back. And one of the other interesting, because we have more and more two-handed bowlers coming around, that a lot of guys are getting away from grips as a two-handed bowler so that they can drill the holes deeper and have more of a conventional feel, get their fingers further into the ball. You know, you're not worrying about clearing a thumb as a two-hander, so you can really get those fingers way in if you really want to feel like you're coming around it. That's not as easy to do when you have grips, because of the length of the grip and how deep the hole has to be for you to put your whole finger in with a almost conventional grip. So there's more evolution to the go with grips, go with no grips. The two-handed bowlers are sort of leading the way on a lot of the new evolution of bowling, and that's one of the additions to it. They are now going deeper in the finger holes and using using no grips or a conventional grip. So that's our Radical Rundown for today. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Give us some more ideas, and we'll see you next time.